invented language, drawing on 3 languages. So it's Middle English, German, and Scouse. And it recounts a real journey which took place in lockdown last year, with me and my son travelling from Liverpool to Manchester to collect a new PlayStation. And only when we got on the train in Liverpool and the announcement came on the train to tell us that we were in a tier 2, or whatever they called it at the time, and we were travelling to a tier 3. And we shouldn't do that unless we've got a strong reason for doing it. The train pulled out and we were off to get the PlayStation. So this is called Lockdown Avventura, a mid-pandemic journey towards the new PlayStation. It was the 100th day of lockdown, and we had to travel 100 miles from the Porta City of Liverpool to the canal town of Manchester. Our greile was klar. Te vinden voor mijn zonne de nieuwe PlayStation. Digitale modellen, mijn zonne lijken die downloaden. We risen like the zone itself to take in the rail and boarding with spirits good. Then the adventure beginning to change as the trainer manager making a godin voice on the tannoy and explaining that the passengers travelling from the Tower 2 of Liverpool to the Tower 3 of Manchester making themselves liable to criminal charges for traversing the latest virus restraints. Meine Sonne and me looking across the table and blush. Doing the PlayStation making an excuse. Meine Sonne looking into the pixely sky of his phone as I concocting a long spieling to say as to the reason for our travailing. To our greater relief, no manager making to ask us of Arizona, and we arriving then in Piccadilly as like in 2 parts to 1 piece. Now for the tram wagon to the town of Altrincham and the store named Argos. The tram wagon was boozy with like-minded surveyors to the grocery retailer park in the aforesaid at Altrincham. And there, fat beds above the Matalan and the carpet Varahauser, a crowd of black-tipped gulls like in dead and sailors returning to lead us ever onwards to the Argos. We waited at the place called the checkout for the PlayStation to work in as alchemy from the ordained number to the material goods of the thing itself. And lo, like a tabernacle of the holiest ranker, a maiden of the Argos appearing from the back of the store with the new PlayStation, this holiest altar that is mine as honours to take him forth as his. We standing and see it shining like the star, as Argos maidens and the shop is staring at the box. Then coming forward, the maiden of Erfurt and asking, how did you retrieve the PlayStation with so many failing? Meine Sonne explaining the trick in the Chroma browser to cladding the cache and finden, click and collect and calling down from the great and God Argos the PlayStation. Where do you vagrants live? She asking, and we reply we abiding in Liverpool. Then she vorwennen, do not return on the tram wagon through Altrincham, for the scallies and poachers of Manchester will mack up the PlayStation their own. Instead, coming in my wagon, and I driven you to the airport. And in a flashing, my Sonne and me are in the wagon, forgetting that the law of the social distancing, horsepower parent for to tackle us onwards to the airport. But lo, the engine keep cutting out, and die Maiden starten to text into her phone and I machen to panic, thinking that she arranging for her husband and meant to intervene in our Aventura and tackling die Playstation for the morning. Meine Mind playing these triggers of duress until soon we arriving at Manchester airport. Und it is like in the bleak landscape of Ballard, this place that hath no plane in the heaven, no passenger on the ground. We thanken heartily the maiden and valken into the vital land of the airport for to finden the trainer to Liverpool. It happened next that the trainer not departed for an hour, so we maken to the spa to quell the appetite that growing now like the bearer for victuals. We machen with the flapjack and pretzels and deep and rich snacking for the trainer. But lo, due to virus restrainings, we be forbidden to eat on board, so we finden the bench for to snacking. At last, we boarded with the PlayStation, but this is not the ending of the tale. For now, boarding the vocal mouth of the phone, who pronouncing the entirety of his minder into the wagon from Manchester to Liverpool. I hope I machen to be sectioned, he pronouncing, in order to receiving the free gift of rent, and so on, he going. I need to sort out my life and tackle a back and so on, until meine Sonne and I must text to each under explaining that this is the parting of the lockdown that we are missing not. And all the vile, the PlayStation lying between us, it minden not the winde talking by the vocal mouth, for like the God, it looking only for varden, as if to unlocken its own dreaming. Thank you.